Hello everyone, let's practice IELTS reading module. Let's begin with section 1. Now, pause the video and read the passage. Now let's find the answers to each questions. Here let's start with questions 1 to 4. Answer the questions below. Choose no more than 3 words from the passage for each answer. So, here the word limit is only 3 words. Question 1. Where are most species of chameleons found? To find the answer, let's look into the passage. Here in the first sentence, it states mainly distributed across Africa, Madagascar and other tropical regions. Here the most matches mainly, so use the specific location. So the answer here is Africa and Madagascar. And the next question 2. Who photographed the species later named Kinkongia magumbara? Here let's see in the same passage, identified through a field photograph taken by Dr. Andrew Marshall. Here there is a direct name, so it was Dr. Andrew Marshall. And the next question 3. Which physical features are mainly used to identify chameleon species? So here in the passage we can see that identification based on physical features like head shape and scales arrangement rather than color. So the answer here is head shape and scale arrangement. And the next question 4. What causes a chameleon to turn dark when placed against unusual backgrounds? Here in the paragraph 2, we can see that chameleons often become stressed and turn dark. Stress is the direct clue here, so the answer here is stress. And the next questions 5 to 13, you have to write true, false or not given. And the rule here is important. We have to write true when it exactly matches the passage, and we have to write false when the passage says the opposite, and we have to write not given. The passage does not answer the statement directly. Always check wording carefully. And let's go into the questions. Question 5. Chameleons are only found in tropical regions. Look again at the distribution sentence. It mentioned tropical regions but also southern Europe, Asia and introduced locations like Hawaii and possible California and Florida. Only found in the tropical region is clearly wrong because they are also found outside the tropics. The passage contradicts the statement. So the answer here is false. And the next question 6. New species of chameleons are still being discovered. In the first paragraph, the example of Kinkongia magumbara is used to show that new species continue to be found. The wording is almost the same as this statement. That means the statement agrees with the passage. So the statement is true. And the next question 7. Chameleons can match any background perfectly. In the second paragraph, it says common belief that they can mimic any background is incorrect. That is exactly the statement here. Since the paragraph says the belief is wrong, the exam statement must be false. And the next question 8. Color change in chameleons depends on the distribution of pigment cells. Still in the paragraph 2, there is a sentence. Each species has specific distribution of pigment cells that dictates its available color range. Color change range depends on the distribution. The statement matches this idea, so it's agree with the passage. So the statement is here true. And the next question 9. When stressed, chameleons usually show bright colors. The passage says that when placed against unnatural backgrounds, chameleons often become stressed and turn dark. That is opposite. Show bright colors. So the statement contradicts the passage and we have to write here false. And the next question 10. Male chameleons use colors to communicate dominance. In the paragraph 3, look for dominance or male. It explains that male use brilliant display to assert dominance and flatten their body to appear larger. Here, bright colors are not used to show dominance to reveal. This directly supports the statement. Here, bright colors used to show dominance to reveal. So it directly supports the statement. So the statement here is true. And the question 11. Female chameleons always respond positively to male courtship displays. The passage says that male also use bright displays during courtship, but females typically react unless receptive. It even describes opening their mouths and sometimes chasing or biting males. So, they certainly do not always respond positively. This is the opposite of the statement. So, we have to write here false. And the next question 12. Research shows that camouflage is the main purpose of chameleon color change. In the last paragraph, the test says research indicates color change evolved mainly for social signaling, attracting mates, intimidating competitors rather than for that means camouflage is the main purpose is directly contradict. So the statement here is false. And the next question 13. Scientists believe the prescription of colors involves the nervous system. In the final paragraph, it says that to understand function, scientists study how colors are perceived and vision depends on the neurological processing. Neurological processing is a part of the nervous system. So the statement agrees with the passage. So it is a Next, let's move to the passage 2, the pursuit of happiness. Now, pause the video and read the passage. Let's start finding the answers to all the questions. Let's begin with questions 14 to 19. Here you have to write true, false, or not given. Question 14. Seligman believed that psychologists focus too much on mental illness. In the paragraph 1, it explains Seligman argued researchers to study positive emotions and mental wellness with the same seriousness as mental illness. This implies that field was dominated by mental illness before and he wanted balance. That supports the idea that there had been too much focus on illness and not enough on wellness. So the statement is here true. And the next question 15. Some critics think that happiness movements ignores the value of sadness. In the same paragraph, critics such as Alan Horwitz and Eric Wilson argue that emphasizing constant happiness suppresses natural emotions like sadness and undermines emotional growth. They say it devalues the melancholic perspective. This clearly shows they feel sadness is undervalued in the moment. So the statement is here true. And the next question 16. Research proves that marriage produces permanent happiness. In the paragraph 2, it says that after major life changes, most people return to a baseline level of happiness. It lists marriage as an achievement people quickly adapt to. So the happiness effect is a temporary. The statement comes permanent happiness, which is the opposite of what the passage says. So the statement is here false. And the next question 17. People adapt quickly to achievements such as promotions. In the same paragraph, it says that we quickly get used to achievements like promotions or marriages. and then begin seeking new goals. This directly matches the statement. So the answer here is true. The next question 18. Richard Davidson found that completing a goal is more satisfying than working towards it. Later in the passage, the text describes research showing that working towards goal are merely achieving them. Not merely achieving them generates positive feeling and reduce fear and depression. Davidson's work supports the idea that anticipation and progress activate positive emotions. So the statement is the opposite of the passage. The research highlights working towards the goal, not just completion. So the answer here is false. And the next question 19. Having many choices usually makes people happier. Another paragraph mentions that an overwhelming abundance of choice increases stress and reduces satisfaction. This is the idea associated with Barry Switchwords. Since the passage says more choice can reduce satisfaction, claiming it makes people happier, it's contradictory. So the statement here is false. And the next questions 20 to 23 multiple choice. So let's see the questions. Question 20. What keeps people on the treadmill? Look again in the paragraph 2. It explains that because people adapt to things like promotions and marriage, then they start looking for possessions. This constant cycle is described as a treadmill, where satisfaction is always temporary. So the cause is the constant desire for more possession or status. So the correct option here is B. And the next question 21. Russ Harris believes popular ideas about happiness are dangerous because. In the section discussing Harris, it says that the belief we must always be happy causes people to adopt or reject normal negative emotions, which are actually part of a meaningful life. He warns that trying to eliminate sadness and other negative feelings is harmful. So the option that matches is they encourage people to ignore negative emotions. So the correct option here is A. Next question 22. Barry Switchwords argues that too many choice. In the paragraph on choice, it states that an overwhelming abundance of choice increasing stress and reduces satisfaction. That aligns directly with option C, increasing stress and dissatisfaction. And the next question 23. According to Professor Julia Norum, defensive pessimism. The passage explains that some people work better with a realistic or even pessimistic style. It says defensive pessimism can anxious people perform better by preparing carefully for possible problems. So the correct option here is helps anxious people perform better. And the next questions 24 to 27 sentence completion. Let's start with question 24. According to the Harris, A is necessary to live a rich and meaningful life. In the Harris paragraph, note the key phrase. He says people need to experience a full of range of emotions, not just happiness, to live richly and meaningfully. The exact noun phrase is here, full range of emotions. It fits the word limit. So the answer here is full range of emotions. And the next question 25. Davidson discovered that expecting success activates positive feeling and reduce. In the part of goal pursuit, the test mentions neuroscientist Richard Davidson. It states the working towards a goal and accepting to be realized activates positive feeling and reduce fear and depression. So the answer here is fear and depression. Swartz describes the negative effect of too many options as the passage refers to Barry Swartz's famous idea that more choice can cause. Although the text may paraphrase it, the recognition term is paradox of choice, which is also commonly used in IELTS material from this passage. So the answer here is paradox of choice. Happiness is described as an dash, not in fixed state. In the final paragraph, it says happiness depends according to one's values, and because values differ, happiness becomes a journey rather than a fixed emotion state. The key phrase to fill the gap is ongoing process or a similar expression. In this version, the extended answer is ongoing. It fits the meaning and the word limit. So the answer here is ongoing. Next, passage 3, the deep sea. Pause the video and read the passage. Let's go with the questions. Questions 28 to 33, multiple choice. Let's start with question 28. What is considered ironic in the passage? In the first paragraph, the writer calls it ironic that we know more about distant moons and planets than about the mid-ocean ridge. One option states the idea exactly is option C, which known more about the moon than the mid-ocean ridge. And the next question 29. What did early diving technology allow humans to do? In the paragraph 2, early technologies like diving belts, metal helmet, and pressurized chutes allowed only shallow descents. This meaning this means they could go down, but not far and not for long. Among the choice, stay underwater for short periods best reflect that limits. So the answer here is option B. And the next question 30. When did true deep sea scientific exploration begin? The paragraph says true deep sea exploration began in 1930 when William Beebe and the Otis Barton descended in bathysphere. That matches option C with Beebe and Barton's bathysphere. Next question 31. What major discovery was made in the 1970s? In the paragraph 3, it explains that in the 1970s, manned submersibles reached the mid-ocean ridge and found thriving communities around hydrothermal vents living without sunlight that matches communities living around deep volcanic vents. So the answer here is option C. And the next question 32. Why do submersibles use teeters and deep water? In the paragraph 4, the test says light barely penetrates and water absorbs electromagnetic signals. So submersibles must use teeters for communications. Radio waves are electromagnetic signals. So the correct option here is option B. And the next question 33. What is the greatest danger of a deep sea vehicle? Later in the same paragraph, the passage describes huge pressure up to the 1200 atmospheres and explains that a small structural failure could cause water to explode inward. It clearly presents pressure as the main danger. So the correct answer is here option C. And the next questions 34 to 40. Summary completion. Question 34. One significant area is the dash a huge chain of volcanic mountains. And the paragraph 1, the major feature named as the mid-ocean ridge, described as the world's longest mountain change on the sea floor. So the answer here is mid-ocean ridge. Next question 35. The deepest ocean makes up dash of the planet's biosphere. The paragraph compares volume and says that 97% of the Earth's biosphere lies on the deep, sunless ocean. So the answer here is 97%. And the next question 36. Early technologies such as dash and metal helmets. And the paragraph 2, early technologies listed are diving belts and metal helmets and pressurized suits. The gap before the metal helmets must be diving belts. So the answer here is diving belts. And the next question 37. BB and Barton descended in A. The same paragraph states that they descended in bathysphere. So the answer here is bathysphere. And the next question 38. Unique ecosystems living around. In the paragraph 3, when submersibles reached the ridge, they discovered communities around hydrothermal vents. So the answer here is hydrothermal vents. Next, water absorbs all. In the paragraph 4, it states that water absorbs electromagnetic signals, which is why teethers are needed. So the answer here is electromagnetic signals. And the last one. The greatest danger is the dash that threatens to crash. The passage describes crushing pressure and explains a small failure could cause water to explode inward. The phrase given in this text is crushing pressure. All answers displayed at the end. And thanks for watching. Follow us for more videos.